The Blair Witch is a movie we always wanted to cover, but we decided we're going to go to the woods.
I don't like this idea.
We're going to go to the woods.
You ever heard of it?
We're going to be really out there, and we're going to watch it, and then we're going to have a little
Halloween episode. Stay tuned. It's coming out soon.
All right, we're leaving the cute little town, and we're finally gonna go enter the woods.
It's the most fun I've ever had.
You should ask.
I love nature.
I mean, it was the guy that pulled up.
Abbie, you couldn't get a bigger TV, dude? God. Dingus.
So, get in there.
Further?
This is hilarious.
Have you ever seen the...
No,
this is like this prank.
go this
Wait, we gotta film this, dude. Yo, is that good, dude?
It's good enough.
All right. Hey, Dubs, stop texting your mom.
I'm going to call Mommy. She helps me with the sads.
So this is the wood we got for tonight. I think it should be enough. Daddy already kind of prepared a little bit of a thing, so you know we be popping.
Let's do it.
And Dubs is just passing the time for the next cigarette.
The charger, by the way, is for the laptop, not the... Oh, I was reading the Wikipedia article. Dude, I took Adderall. I still feel like I can't keep getting just super distracted.
I can't believe I went to film school, dude. I suck at filming.
On lyrics right there.
I'm fat, dude. You are fat.
No, I'm not.
No, I know. I'm jealous.
Am I fat?
No, dude. I have to buy shirts that go out. You know what I mean? That have like the little,
Yeah,
kind of like a skirt.
Oh, the extra larges.
Okay.
Brendan, you have?
Am I fat, dude? But were you lying when you said that, or you said...
You've got a big fat heart. That's what you have.
Fart. You meant to say fart.
Thanks, dude. We're glamping right now, dude. This is send this to Instagram.
Send this to Instagram, dude. Hit up Zuck, dude.
You should email Musk and have him put this on Twitter.
Dude, hit up Musk. Dude, hit up Zuck. Hit up Bezos. Hit up Jeff Bezos, dude.
Look at Duel, dude. Dude, guys, there's a bear that studied sound. You know, he got his BFA, dude.
You got every part of that wrong.
BFA?
The saddest part is I actually went to film school.
Designated free agent?
BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Big fucking ass.
Oh.
Is this mine?
No, it's mine. Thank you. Yeah, what do I get one of those?
And right there, and there's a cooler back here. You know the code word,
Cooler's
Duel?
back here, dude. No, I missed that.
We yell peanut butter, then we all hide our drinks because the cops come.
Peanut butter. All right. But what if we want to eat peanut butter?
Then we say cops.
It's gonna be all right, dude.
I don't know if I'm going to be okay.
You're gonna just live out here in the woods with us forever.
Let's just all stay here.
Let's quit our jobs and...
I barely work.
Yeah.
That's why I invested in all this camping gear.
So as soon as it gets dark, I'm gonna light.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
This
All right,
movie.
let's go.
I'm
We're
just
doing it.
passively watching.
This movie is life.
Wait, sorry, where'd you say the beers were?
Placid. Motherfucker, I'm placid. That means calm and shit. I'm about to drop bombs and shit. Big tits and dicks and shit.
Oh, God. He's fully mic'd, dude.
Moving in here. Oh!
Fucking
lemon ice all over my ass.
I thought there was a bug, yeah.
No, I don't care about bugs. I care about
Brendan,
I don't care about witches either. I'm not scared at all.
I promise. I'm not scared at all.
I feel so safe.
All right, let's start this movie and shut the fuck up. Maybe that.
Just leave.
Just let the film wash over you. No, I'm serious. How you should watch a film. Everyone shut up.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you pause it for 1 second? The
Fucking play the movie.
We got. I can't.
quit.
I don't retain information. Like I
I'm
need
done.
to take notes, or I don't remember anything.
I'm done. Enjoy this night, because it's my last time. We gotta start a fire, we gotta cook hot dogs, we gotta do a bunch of shit.
Yeah, we
Is my underwear showing? No. How about now?
I dislike this already. Can we go home?
Are you scared, Abbie? Abbie, how scared are you?
I don't like that there's hearing kids should make it feel less scary, but it's not.
Well, to me, it's a cricket.
Yeah.
me, it's the way Dubs is saying.
I don't know if this counts. 3, 4, 5.
Legitimately, I'm so goddamn scared. Scared? Very scary. Scared of Gary, because I'm still very scared. Very scary. It is scary. I was very scared. I'm so scared. I had like weird feelings in the pit of my stomach before it even started.
I'm scared to close my eyes. I'm scared to open them.
I'm scared.
Hope y'all haven't been camped out waiting. If you have, good news. The wait is over. That's right, folks. The Bad Boys of Horror are back for the 14th and Halloween episode. Very special, very spooky, of 2 Minute Baby, the horror movie review show where three best friends discuss a new horror movie each episode. Now, for those of y'all who are listening and can't see right now,
Get this thing called YouTube's. Check it out on
we're
visuals.
Gonna maybe start doing
It's
that.
going to be on Tubies. It's going to be on all
Pluto TV.
But if you can't see us, just know we've gone absolutely full method for this episode.
Full on.
Method
Methamphetamines.
Tonight we're covering.
I went method. No one else wore a costume, but
I literally am wearing.
Hold on, let's wait.
Sorry, I can't see it in my left eye.
Oh yeah. Brendan has an eye patch on, which actually somehow makes him seem better because that's how bad his eyes are.
You have the booty? You kids have my booty.
Continue.
What's the band? With
Lisa
the,
Left Eye
Third Eye
Lopez.
Yeah,
Blind.
she would have survived. Okay. Anyway, tonight we're covering 1999's classic, The Blair Witch Project,
You know what they should call it? The Scare Witch Project, because I'm fucking scared.
directed
And
by.
calling the cops.
That's the point,
Cops
Abbie.
actually might come.
Directed by Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez. But here's the kicker. We're covering it as we are camped out in the woods, where we also just watched the movie
In the woods.
in the woods.
Production technology nightmare, but we pulled it off. We have a TV running off of a little generator. We watched it lying amongst the stars. There's no stars. It's cloudy. It's terrifying. We're out in the woods, and there's bears around. We have a little garbage hung up, but I don't know how long it'll last. Brennan already spilled sauerkraut.
We have a fire percolating and sizzling at our feet, and we have about 35 other people camping very close to us.
Call
So-
Brendan Jeff Bezos's book sector because he was kindling earlier, and it's working
Damn,
out.
dude. All right, keep it going, Dubs.
I'm personally hoping that we all get murdered tonight.
I'm hoping
It's going to be on camera.
I'm hoping some of us do.
Will's eating 12 hot dogs, so we're all sort of getting murdered in the nostrils here.
Oh, it smells so bad, dude. Oh my god, that'll keep the bears away.
Oh my god, it's outdoors and there's a fire. Like, it is impossible to have that smell.
Sean, are you getting this? So,
That fights through like a fucking osium in a reverse way.
Lisa's Russian,
Nose.
and I would fart, and she'd be like,
She turned Polish.
Chernobyl got nothing on.
Wow.
Anyway,
you're
yeah.
like a little sack for a little, like a little hot pocket for a bear, dude. You're a little ginger stock full of nice hot dogs.
Burning on the inside.
Yeah, you might as well be on a plate.
Like, I need the grill marks. This week it might be one man and two babies because I don't like it out here. It'd be scary.
Yeah, we sort of
to me,
swapped.
a
Well, we didn't
city boy.
swap because I'm still very
No,
scared.
dude, I
but
don't like
Will
it
went
at
from
all.
like the brave boy that can watch any movie in the fucking comfort of his luxury apartment. But out here in the woods, he's one of us babies.
Well, it's not the movie that scared me. It's just
It's the
everything
bears that are gonna eat
else.
us
No,
later.
it's the bears. It's
Definitely fucking dark and creepy out here, dude. I don't hear that shit. This is the movie within the movie within the movie. I'm lost. Oh shit.
Anyway, I'm your host. That's why I'm sitting in the middle. Will Dubs, and as usual, I'm joined by singer and horror historian, outdoorsman apparently, Brendan Fletcher, and to my
Yo,
left,
ho, ho, it's a pirate's life for
It's
him.
a pirate's life for me, babies.
and to my left by comedian and titular baby Abbie Krinsky. I don't know what your costume is.
Regret Michaels.
Okay, I
Shout
forgot.
out to Ori for that one. I didn't.
So I
write that
didn't
one.
know that.
What is Brett Michael? What band was Brett Michaels in?
Poison.
Poison.
Well, he also
Every rose Jules has it stoned.
What was that show? Rock of Love.
Great
dude.
show.
Classic.
Okay, and also, so we are not just in a park, in any park. We chose a New Jersey, beautiful park. New Jersey has wilderness. If you didn't know that, it's not Elizabeth
Garden
and
State,
Newark.
baby.
It's the Garden State. There's bears galore. It's beauty galore. And I looked up the campground that had a nice opening that was really in nature, and it's fucking called the Voorhees State Park, which is
Crushed it.
Those of you who don't know, Jason Voorhees, obviously the main character in
Friday the 13th. I've
Friday
never
the
seen it.
13th.
Which
Happy
I
movie.
watched for the 13th episode on Friday the 13th.
Wow.
Nice.
Brendan, you want to kick us off and sing that motherfucking
Yeah.
theme song?
3, 2, 1, go.
Pop.
2 men and a baby, oh yeah. 2 men and a motherfucking baby.
I fucking hate the outside, dude.
If there isn't a bodega within eye shot of Will Dubs, he thinks he's, it's like a survival movie. You're essentially Tom Hanks in Castaway.
John Devon insisted, well, everybody insisted that I get zero help trying to assemble my tent, and then Sean videoed it, and I was struggling.
Yeah,
I
Will
thought-
Dubs
and
took
he was
about
like,
35 minutes.
He was
to
like, "How
assemble
long
stuff.
do you think?"
35. That is 35 minutes
Nah.
was just getting it out of the bag.
So
I literally cannot.
Dude, I believe in you.
Oh, here we go.
Prove us all wrong.
Progress, baby.
you're telling me this becomes that? I don't see. You said connect all of them? Okay, wait, I got it. So there aren't holes.
He's got it. He's got it, Brendan. He's got it.
Why aren't there holes though?
What I would do is lay out the whole tent flat, like a bed sheet.
Am I doing something right?
Do you think you're doing something right?
I don't know. It's things are connecting to other things.
That's what life's all about, really. Just making connections.
I got it. I got it. Fuck you, Brendan.
Nice. Looks great.
I just lost all my momentum.
Did he just decide to go into yours?
No, he's learning from others.
This is good. This is like when they first saw chimps using tools and they're like figuring out.
They're better.
Did that tent come with any stakes?
I assume that's what those are.
Yeah. So, what I would do, Dubs? Never mind. Actually,
No, please.
never mind. Never mind.
Dude.
Actually, never mind. This
Look,
is great.
I'll
I'll give you another 15 minutes and I'll help you.
I have to use all of these, is what I'm being told. Right?
Yeah, they didn't put in extra parts,
No, but I mean,
like extra poles. Yeah.
which one goes? Like, there's got to be.
There's a picture. Like,
In the ground. String. There's the wood, man. All right, hold on.
Yeah, I'll get it.
It's not even in anymore. What the fuck does this do? How?
Now this is Dubs is emotionally vulnerable right now. I'm helping him.
I'm sad.
God, shut up.
I got the retard, the middle child tent, dude.
Are you happy?
That was the opposite of fun. So anyway, it took me 700 years to assemble this tent, and I guess it amused everybody. Now, the way we typically kick things off is we go around and each one of us gives a synopsis of the film, synopsis, in one sentence. Only we tend to put our own little flair on it. And then I'll read you the official one so that everybody knows what the movie is about. But let's be honest, if you haven't seen this movie, fuck off.
No, it's fine. If you haven't seen this movie, pause right now. Log on to Peacock. That's NBC's streaming service. We are now sponsored by Peacock. Get in the game and watch it. And
that
now,
the ad, bro?
no, that was the EA Sports combo.
We took a map reading. We just follow what the compass says. We're going straight ahead. We're going that way. That way.
I'm scared to close my eyes. I'm scared to open them.
Okay, welcome back. I'm glad you just watched Blair Witch. It was really short and it was really good, so I'm glad you watched it.
Yeah, so who wants to go first?
I'll go first. And
Synopsis-wise?
for those, if you didn't catch on any of the jokes, I'm dressed as a pirate right now. I'm going to be taking off my eye patch and to read this beautiful synopsis.
He's no longer Lisa Left Eye Fletcher.
Please be quiet. Aspiring filmmakers Heather, Josh, and Mike venture into the Maryland woods to document the history behind a local horror story, only to find that they've become the main characters in a horror story of their own.
Popped off. Great.
All right, here's mine. A couple lunatics film what happens when you take navigation directions from a woman.
Trash.
Okay.
Next.
Misogynistic.
No, joke, it was
not
good.
even a
Yeah.
couple
Dude,
lunatics.
I got 3 or 4 more offensive.
You should have dressed up like Donald Trump, you piece of trash.
The problem wasn't the offensiveness; it was the lack of clever.
No, it was good.
No, but seriously, if you think about the movie, so much could have been avoided if they just didn't. listen to
follow her, but she's the whole
She
catalyst
was-
of it.
She
She
knew.
apologized later.
Yeah, it's a bit misogynistic, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I mean,
it'd be a good synopsis in 1932.
whoa.
My synopsis is just like, I don't know why I allowed us to do this. I'm so scared. That movie was so fucking
Were you
scary.
really scared?
And now we're gonna sleep in here. Was I really scared?
Yeah.
Yes, dude. I had like weird feelings in the pit of my stomach before
Abby,
it even
save it for
started.
the binker.
Okay.
Great synopsis.
Wait, did you say it?
Super explanation-y. All right, so what we have decided is this time around, because this is such a classic and honestly the plot is not that thick, we're going to change the order up a little bit and...
Spoiler room. Spoiler room. Does
Creep
whatever
down
spoiler
into the
room does.
spoiler room first. So we're just going to go through our normal segments, but with spoilers because...
Yeah, we're not
seriously.
hiding it from you guys. Again,
Yeah.
hop on a Peacock.
Yeah. So I'm gonna actually go through the plot of the film. I'll do this real fast. The Blair Witch Project follows 3 student filmmakers, Heather, Mike, and Josh, who venture into the woods near Burkittsville, Maryland, to document the legend of the Blair Witch. They interview locals who recount eerie tales, including stories of Rustin Parr, a hermit who killed children, and a child named Robin Weaver, who spoke of a ghostly woman. As the trio explores sites connected to the myth, they experience unsettling events, strange noises at night. Cairns? Wait, this is a word I know.
Cairns, Cairns, a pile of rocks.
Yo, fucking
Wow.
My
Daddy
dad-
Webster.
My dad one year got really into cairns. Out in the backyard during COVID, he would take rocks from the driveway and try to stack them high.
I think
My
my
mom's
vocab
name
is.
is Karen.
I think that my vocab is pretty good. That.
My vocab's pretty good.
Cheers.
Vocabulous.
All right. Karens arranged around their tent and eerie stick figures hanging from trees. Tensions rise as they realize they are lost, and Mike admits to throwing away their map. Things spiral when Josh disappears, and Heather and Mike hear strange cries that seem designed to lure them deeper into the forest. Heather finds a disturbing bundle containing Josh's bloodied belongings, but hides its discovery from Mike. The pair eventually follow Josh's voice to an abandoned house where they encounter bloody fingerprints and demonic symbols. In the basement, an unseen force attacks Mike, who stands in a corner facing the wall, echoing Parr's ritual. Heather's screams are captured as her camera falls to the ground, and the film ends abruptly in silence, leaving their fates unknown. I'm gonna
Wait,
go.
there wasn't Josh? That wasn't Josh down there? at all?
Mike,
No, that was Mike, but also
So we never saw Josh?
you
again?
hear Josh's voice.
also
Whoa.
I-
Fuck. Okay.
you don't
I-
see him on film.
Oh, shit.
I also don't think that it says an unseen force attacks Mike. I also think that's an inference that
Well, you
wasn't
see the
necess-
camera fall down to the ground.
Yeah, but
He might
Still.
have dropped it.
what I love about this movie is that nothing.
It's open-ended.
Yeah. Which brings me to actually the first point I wanted to make. What I love, the way they set it up is all the interviews to set the stage for the entire film. Nobody tells the same story. So it sets the audience up for an expectation of, okay, which one of these things are
Right.
going to happen? And then none of them completely do, but all of them sort of do.
Yeah.
It leaves you Brilliant.
And I hate to come in with a flashback already, but
Ooh,
the townspeople that are interviewed in the beginning of the film
I was going to ask about this. I'm sorry.
are obviously actors, right? But the trio, the three main characters, didn't know that they were actors. They actually were made to believe by the director that the lore of
Is
the Blair
real
Witch is
in the
real.
town.
So they thought the people they were interviewing were actual townspeople about a real folklore, legend, myth.
That's sick.
Yeah, so
that's one of my biggest questions about this movie in a positive way as we talk about it. It's like it's obviously very low budget. We'll get into it, but it's like the acting's phenomenal. I don't know how they got
so good.
these people. Like, so the main actor's fine. This is their project. They have a lot to gain. But how they got these townspeople who, like you said, are actors to act better than like mainstream stars.
Totally agreed.
Unbelievable.
I also think that the way the movie is presented, right? You don't feel like somebody's acting. It feels like the director forces you to feel like they're capturing.
Yeah, but if they were bad, it would have been obvious.
like the beginning of Hell House LLC, the beginning of that, some of the worst found footage acting I've ever seen.
It's like this catch-22 where act normal, right? And sometimes that's the hardest thing to be. How do you act as though you're almost there is no camera on you? I don't know. Because there were brief moments of those interviews that it felt like, and Duel actually brought it up.
Yeah, the fly fishing one, or when they were fishing, that was like
felt
the closest
a little
to overplayed,
staged,
overacted.
Produced,
yeah,
those were my favorite two guys.
But I could see. But the woman, my favorite was the woman
baby.
with the daughter. How did they get a child to? The daughter picks her nose and eats it. First of all, then covers the mom's mouth at the perfect timing.
And they were camped near the cabin or something that she's supposed to haunt. And they disappeared off the face of the earth.
Really?
Okay, it's all right, Ingrid. I'm just telling a scary story, but it's not true.
It's not true.
Their back and forth was amazing. Those people deserve an Oscar. They were in a 30-second clip from a 99 low-budget movie. How did they do that?
That scene, that was so. I remember watching that movie
it's like
the first
hushing,
time.
like,
I was so unsettled by that.
It's so good.
And if you go into the movie, which a lot of people did because the marketing was so good that it made it seem like it was an actual, documentary. If you think of it in those terms, then you're like, wow, that was really impactful. That daughter,
Do you think that they worked to make the baby do that, or they got lucky?
That's a great question.
No, they got lucky.
You think that?
Yeah, dude,
well, that's fucking
a year and a half
incredible,
years
though.
old.
The effect of like, "Mommy, don't say that out loud."
Yeah.
Unbelievable. No, it felt like an Errol Morris film with the doc stuff.
Yeah.
And to pull that off again
Like
at that low
Salesman,
budget.
kinda like,
right,
yeah.
exactly. And that's the thing we've been talking about since the beginning, which is like, there's a campiness to certain horror movies that's become part of the genre. And I'm not saying this dismisses all of it, but like, we've noticed from Will picking out some great films in this run of show.
Shout out
this
to me, dude.
Shout out to Will. I'm never going to say that again. This is another example of like, actually also you could do it with really good acting and it's even better.
The interviews at the beginning, there are it's like a patchwork quilt, right? There's a lot of different stories that make up the entire legendarium of Blair Witch, right?
Legendarium? That's a great word. Is that real?
You talk about Rustin.
The lore.
Yeah, the lore is another one. Yeah, but you talk about Mary. I forget her last name. Mary Roberts, or the old woman that lives in the shack.
Tyler Moore.
She talks about the witch herself, and this she's fishing with her dad when she's younger, and she witnesses the witch. And then you talk to this older man, talks about Rustin Parr, this man that brings 7 children into the woods and murders them.
Coffin Rock.
It's so good because it's not very
about Coffin Rock.
Right. It's not like straightforward where it's like, this is the lore. This is what you're scared of. It. Like you said, we're scared of many
every
things.
single thing was a little different enough for you to be like, oh, well, nobody really knows what it is.
Right.
Exactly.
And it has created this environment that's like, ooh, anything's possible. We just know that these woods are
creepy.
Something's
something's
off,
and that's all you need.
And it sets up the horror so well that the audience is forced to be worried about what they're going to find out.
Something's wrong in Coffin Dwayne Johnson.
And this is actually a great segue to one of our favorite segments here on 2 Men and a Baby, Baby in the Corner, where we actually consult our resident infant, Abbie Krinsky, to, just be the barometer of how scary this film was. As you guys know, hopefully, Abbie is really scared of horror movies, much more so than me and Brendan, so he is a very good representation for the normal person about how scary the movie was. Now, we up the ante this week by watching it in the woods, so I'm curious. But Abbie, Baby in the Corner, I'd love to hear your, thoughts about how scary it was, and give us that Binky meter rating.
Cry about it.
Cry about it. It was terrifying. Absolutely fucking terrifying. First of all, I think we can all say, Two Men and Baby favorite. This is our first under 90-minute flick. Fucking unbelievable.
God.
Hour 28.
Cream-worthy.
We love it. No fat, and also so terrifying in that short period of time. Obviously, watching it in the woods, not recommended. I fucking hate that we're doing this. But just period, that movie's fucked up. It is a classic HBM, hat brim movie. I
caught you one time.
Oh,
one
trying
time
to actually not look.
The
I know.
eyes were down,
scared.
and I was like, "Fucking look,
yeah,
Abbie."
Will Clockwork Orange me again. But I thought I had watched it. I thought I watched it in college. And then we started watching it again, and I was like, nope, I don't remember any of the Errol Morris type of interview stuff. And it's one of those, like, I think I hat-brimmed it all the way and then watched the final scene, which is famous and has been parodied and is scary, but it's a good defense mechanism us babies use is watch the end part without the context. It's way less scary, and now you feel like you saw it enough to lie to people about it. So this was, I would very fairly say, the first time I've seen it. Horrible place to see it. Horrible fucking movie to watch in terms of just being so scared.
Also, you are saying like this was a bad idea, like scary wise. It is, but also this has been awesome. This little setup
This
we
has been
got
fun,
going.
yeah.
No, I love the
Sean,
outdoors, and I love you guys.
Duel, this has been such a fun day.
Oh my god,
setting
it's
this
great.
up.
This has been great. So give me a Binky meter, dude.
Yeah,
Give
so
me a
Binky meter, I'll give you a tiny bit more context, is I was like, I'm chilling, I'm not going to smoke. Sean was smoking, and I took one little hit, and boy, did that hit feel like many more than one little hit, because again, I was very high, and I got even more scared from that.
Do you get scared? Are you more scared when you're smoking weed, or less scared?
Way more.
You've asked this, right?
Yeah,
I know. I never did weed. I know you know about
I never
it.
remember.
You've never did the W?
Never did doubles.
So very scary. I'm going to give it a Binky meter. I mean, it's biased as fuck. We're in the woods watching it. Every time I tried to look away, I see the fucking future place where the Blair Witch is going to come kill me tonight. So I'm going to say an 8.8.
8.8.
Which is really high, but
Wow.
I don't know how that relates to the other movies. If we watched the fucking When Evil Lurks in Argentina in a fucking farm town, I might also freak
the
out
atmosphere
too.
We got this.
Yeah.
We got this great clip, and I hope we're able to edit this together. But of Abbie reacting to the movie and just doing this thing where he puts his head back, and it's just like,
Near the car. Maybe we're near the car.
Give me the fucking map. Give me the map.
like I don't know how to explain it, but we're right
I don't
in front
even
of.
remember that.
Just so you know, we had a not a tent, but basically a half tent shelter covering about a 50-inch TV. Would you say
49?
Yeah, and then we were laid up in front of it, and me and Abbie were laying right in the front, and yeah, there's just this moment of Abbie where it becomes a night scene, and he's just like.
Also, we watched it. We started it as the sun was going down, and right when it gets dark in the
Yes.
movie for the first time, it got dark in real life. We nailed it in terms of all my horrors. So yeah, it was amazing. And the last thing I'll say about how scary it is in the setting is there's literal we have our own area, but there are children not that far away, and then there are children sort of in the background of the movie screaming, which is part of the fear and the lore. And then we're hearing real children. It was just fucking terrifying in every fucking way.
There was 2 layers of.
So mad.
Of
Brilliant
horror
fucking movie.
sounds.
Brilliant.
2 layers of
There's a children
No,
layer
but
cake.
it was
squared.
we could hear the diegetic, right, noises, and
Yes.
then we could hear the real life
And
noises.
it was hard to
dropping
tell the
big D
difference.
words. All right, so
So the next part of the show where we kind of, we know how we felt about the movie, but we try to figure out what everybody thought about the movie, which takes us into Rotten S Tomato, where we try to guess the tomato meter score, and apparently this is now official, the popcorn meter score, the audience score.
audiences.
All rotten, that's tomatoes. What you think? Use what you think. Guess the scores before they stink.
Okay, so a big twist for this segment, and you folks are going to see a live twist, and you're going to see a live murderer be made. I saw it. Brendan saw it.
Oh, you saw audience too?
I saw it all. You saw it all?
I saw a number with percentage, and then Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know if it was the audience or if it was the critic score.
Okay,
So-
so the tomato meter score for critics is 86%, which is about Right.
Okay.
It is a very good movie, but
That's
it's
what I saw.
It's also
Great.
controversial, so there's never going to be. It would never get a 98 where there's nothing that won't piss people off, right?
Yeah.
We talked about this with Oddity. It had a very high score of like 90 something because it's safe.
Right. This was not.
This
safe. We
was
tried
not
something,
safe.
yeah.
This is a wild, controversial, brand new, fresh thing. The audience score, and since you know, and now you've told Brendan,
I don't know the audience score.
There's a discrepancy. I will say.
So what do you think it is, Brendan?
52.
Okay.
Pretty damn close.
Yeah, it's 57, which is a massive discrepancy.
Yeah.
From,
I get it. I mean, and here comes a Fletch
Yeah.
fact. By the way, guys, my name's Brendan Fletcher, and I was on The Voice. Did really well.
I found myself face down in the ditch with booze in my head, blood on my lips. Picture you holding, picture me. Let's go! Keep going, baby. Still don't know what love means.
Did really well.
He
Almost
did.
won the whole thing. Now, life stuff.
Shout out Adam Levine.
I mean, let's
Now
just be-
life sucks. Is that what you
life
said?
stuff. Let's just be honest. You know what I mean? I'm scraping by.
Scraping by. He lost an eye.
I'm out here dressed as a pirate and watching movies with guys that are sure they're my friends, but in the future, I might be shopping around for some new ones. But anyway, what was I talking about? So I was basically what I was talking about was
so much more hurtful when you. It wasn't even a segue. It was the way.
I use this podcast as therapy, guys. So anyway, I was talking about
not
Fletch
working.
facts. I'm going to be so we have this thing called Fletch facts. I'm going to interject facts about movies as we go along. So
I don't feel like that requires a lot of
one big fact that which makes sense that not a lot of people like this movie. A lot of the audience, a lot of people were there's a shaky camera element to this, obviously, right?
Handheld,
and when it came out, there were people that were actually throwing up in theaters because of motion sickness. And in Toronto, there were actually ushers in certain theaters that said they would have signs out in front of the theater. They would say, if you suffer from...
you remind me of a girl that I... Usher?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. If you suffer from motion sickness, please sit in the aisle so you don't throw up on anyone.
I'll be damned. That's crazy.
Yeah, so this discrepancy of 57%, I mean, people got sick, that's crazy. I always heard that Cloverfield was the first movie that truly nauseated people. And by the way, Cloverfield was one of the first found footage movies after the Blair Witch, which reinvigorated the genre.
And what was for found footage, just to go real quick over it, what was the OG found footage movie?
I think this one.
Cannibal Holocaust.
Cannibal Holocaust.
And actually,
right,
the
right.
director of Cannibal Holocaust had an interview and was like, they ripped off a lot of...
Oh, he wasn't happy about
Yeah,
it.
he was
pissed.
at least at least I should
mean,
have gotten
so
a shout out in
and
an
also
interview or something.
You
it
talked
was
about this
banned in 57 countries also because
Cannibal Holocaust, right? Because they killed the turtle.
Yeah, they killed.
There are a lot of homages in this movie to other horror movies.
Yeah, because this was obviously the big found footage of our generation, and the famous story I remember hearing later was that people thought this was real, and that's like a crazy new level of fear. I can't imagine
And in the
watching
promotion,
this thinking
they
it was
would
real.
have missing posters for all of the actors and saying, their ages and stuff and miss it, at Sundance where they premiered it, they would have these posters outside. So everyone that saw that movie went in thinking this is a real thing.
It was also one of the first films ever marketed on the internet. 1999. So before 99, I guess 98.
Yeah.
And they did that. They had a website dedicated to finding these people. But we still haven't talked about why we think it's so much lower.
Well, it goes hand in hand, I think, because it's like when you're doing something this weird, it's brilliant, and you can look back and brilliant, and the critics, that was very smart because that's a high critic score, but it makes sense that audience members would react. It's like, I feel tricked or I feel angry about that. So I'm assuming that's part of it. Part of it's the shaky camera. What else?
My theory is the critics they reviewed the movie in 1999, right? People are still watching this movie. It has so much hype. And then the idiots, because they're always idiots, and I have a few good, bad reviews.
Medicare at best, let's hear them,
They're like, nothing happens. They're in the woods. Blah, blah, blah. Dumb.
That's like why it's
dumb
so fucking brilliant.
people. Yeah, because they're dumb, though. This is what... Anyway, so here are some of my favorites. Just shit, boring as batshit.
Just shit, boring as batshit. Okay.
That kid has a
Brendan wrote the review, dude.
head injury.
All right. 1% spooky stuff, 99% yelling about being lost in the woods.
Well, that's not incorrect.
That's pretty good, actually.
By the way, I hope I wasn't pretending to have a head injury there. I actually couldn't say the word.
All right, here. This one is.
That was clear.
It's not that funny, but I think if you think about it, it's the most ridiculous. Lots of film footage of running through the woods that must have been shot by high school level film students.
Also a Sammy synopsis.
No,
there.
but that's the whole point.
It's actually just that's true.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
that.
not high school, but like graduates, like recently graduated.
Yeah, it's supposed to look like anyway.
That's like
so,
you order Mexican food and you're like, the food came and it was Mexican, 1 star.
So every time you're like, why does the audience score that? You have to read some of these and you're like, okay, that's why.
Right.
These people are fucking. Also, I think there's like some dumb movie that just came out and its audience score is like 99. I can't remember what it was. Anyway.
And also, I always say this, us babies, one of our favorite defense mechanisms is that was a stupid movie. So, like, I think when scary movies come out that are mainstream, you get a lot of people that were forced to watch it that probably hat-brimmed it like me and then walked around being like, oh, this was bad. This makes me feel better about how scared I was. I'm going to talk about how it's bad.
It's so good, dude.
It was so
It's
good.
All right, that means let's open the floor fully. Let's talk about Brendan. I know you got some more Fletch facts. We'll talk about some Scream themes. The floor is open. We've gone through the plot. You guys know what it's about. We've covered the Mickey Meter, Rotten Estimato. What do you guys need to talk about in this movie?
I just need to say there was a lot of identicalness from the movie and what we're experiencing. Obviously, we're in the woods. We're watching it together.
Yeah.
And immediately, so the characters we got are Heather and Josh and Mike. And we immediately realized that Brendan's Mike. That was very clear, which he took as a compliment. We meant it 100% not as a compliment.
I knew you did.
Yeah, but and then I would say me
Josh,
and Will,
the only cool guy, is Duel.
Josh was definitely Duel.
Why, 'cause
the
he says
cameraman,
he says
long
well,
hair.
first of all,
and they're both going to be dead by the end of the night.
Oh my god!
But
got long blonde hair, and he's in charge of the camera and making the. He also was the only person that seemed like, all right, guys, we got to do this.
Yeah, he didn't like have a huge breakdown as much, and then. I think me and Will are probably both Heather because I was definitely snapping at people being like, oh, we need to hurry up. We need to do this. But also she was doing interviews with people just talking over everybody.
Okay, that's a good point. Because I
will say
I was about to talk over you and be like, I'm not Heather.
I'm not Heather. Now let's keep walking. Let's go to the woods. The map's working.
The response to this
first of all-
movie, there is a sexist element. I hate to be the guy.
I agree, and it's made by 2 men. Not only was it a bit sexist, but it's like, okay, fine, and then I'm waiting for one of the creators to be a woman, and then it was like not. It was 2 men that made this, and they're like, what if we made the woman the problem?
Well, I will say this. During the filming, Mike and Josh were actually even more...
Mike was problematic also.
Mike and Josh were even more antagonistic towards Heather, or they were more like yelling at her.
Mike.
And they actually, the directors and producer were like, we got to cut. They can't both be on her so much.
Yeah.
So they actually cut. Josh, in the original edit, was way more antagonistic towards Heather, or at least like more angry with her. And they actually had to cut his parts down because we need Mike to be the guy.
They
Josh,
can't
you are
both
the good
be-
guy. Yeah, you can't both be. And also, when this movie was released, a lot of people responded negatively towards Heather. Like she,
especially 90s misogyny.
She had trouble getting roles out to this movie. Like,
wow.
That's
the funniest thing about the world, and even the film world would say clearly no, but everyone just thinks actors like write their lines. Like,
I know, yeah.
Oh well, funny thing about that and what you just said, the script that was actually written for this movie only 36 pages. Wow. Everything else,
it was almost all improv.
Yeah, exactly.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
So they intended for most of it to be organic or whatever.
And that goes when you look at this movie, you have to think about how they made it. I mean, no other movie could do what that movie did. Again, you had 3 just amateur actors, right? These actors filmed the whole movie themselves, right?
Unbelievable.
The director and producer, most of the time, weren't even on site. They would They would have drops every day. They would wake up and find a drop in the woods, and it would have directorial notes. They would say where to go. They would say certain themes, ideas of what to say during the day, and have this argument. Go here, see that, and one day they actually didn't find the drop, and they legitimately got lost in the woods one day. And so they used some of that footage, like it was their motivation. They could play off of that, actually getting lost. So it was very hands off. The directors had an idea of what would happen, but they got so much coverage.
Doesn't matter. We're at a kid's playground.
No, we're not. We're on the campground.
And he's burying his fucking face
You're being
in
crazy.
chips.
No, you're crazy.
A little bit scared.
Will, you won't dive out. Will, don't.
Are you okay, dude? I'm not even joking. That was so crazy.
Release sooner. Release
Yeah,
sooner.
I know.
They got so much coverage. Like, for example, that scene in the motel when they're hanging out, they're drinking, they're about to go on their first day of shooting, right? That scene actually lasted. They filmed each other for 2 hours. And
Nightmare for
they
the
got
editor.
really drunk, kind of like when we do our podcast sometimes, and we have to cut it down 1,000,000 minutes because we drink too much and we have to pee. We take pee breaks every now and then, like Dubs just did. They had to cut that down. Literally, it was 2 hours film. They cut it down to like
5
minute.
minutes, 1 minute. Yeah. No, it makes sense. I mean, that's how the thing is that's where it is like the directors. Distilling it, the directors deserve everything because yes, the acting was great, but when you have acting that's great all across the board, that's a director. Like that's same way we've seen other movies where, like I just saw Megalopolis.
You saw it?
Yeah, and that is like,
was it
Francis Ford Coppola's clearly batshit crazy or just too old? But
it's
either
so
way,
overproduced, right?
Either way, the point is like when you see great actors and mid actors and everybody, and they're all doing nonsensical performances, that's distilled to one person. Like that's the director.
Right.
They have the power to make a movie better or worse. I think that sometimes directors are overrated, but I think in this movie, the directing was unfucking believable.
Well, because you have to
the
be
acting.
hands off in this format.
Right.
You want to make it look like
that's
three
And you have
kids
to
got
make-
lost in the woods and they filmed
Right.
themselves. They don't have any real experience other than what they learn in college. So
yeah.
That's such a great point because I feel like a lot of the found footage movies that don't work are over-directed.
Exactly.
But so Brendan, I have this on. It was 20 hours of footage.
Wow.
Edited to 82 minutes.
That's gonna be like tonight.
Over 8 days they filmed it.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
That's fast.
Damn. Off
That's
the
crazy.
dome. Well, more flesh facts. Original budget of $35,000 to $60,000. By the time it was post production, it cost between $200,000 and $750,000. I feel like that's a big range. Either way, less than $1 million.
Crazy.
It's got one of the biggest like ratios of budget to success.
Box office success.
Right.
It held the Guinness Book of World
Until
Records.
Paranormal.
I don't know what broke it.
Paranormal's
well-
the number one because we did that
Oh,
episode.
okay.
Yeah, that's
Guinness-
the number
Okay.
one budget to profit ever.
As of today, Wikipedia wise, it is the 29th most profitable horror film of all
Wow.
time.
That's crazy.
And that's on a initially $60,000
That's
budget.
crazy.
Yeah, that's really nuts. Also, back to our parallels with the characters, I just want to say that, as we joked, Brendan was Mike, except the only difference is in the movie, Mike actually sabotages them completely, like Will said in the synopsis, by throwing the map in the water, and they think they lost it, whereas in real life, Brendan would just lose it. Brendan's lost his jewel and phone 35 times already, and we've only been recording for 20 minutes.
I want to go on the record
That's
and
so
say
true.
that was my joke.
This is what happened. If we were in this situation, me, Dubs, Abbie, if we were in this situation, this is how we would all die. I would die by losing my water bottle or any other essential thing that I needed. Abbie would die because he smoked too much weed, and Will Dubs would die from a tummy ache.
I thought you were going to say for like it just drank too much.
Yeah, you tend to do that all the time. You're right here.
Yeah, one or the other.
Also, their group, much like ours, quickly turned on each other. Their group turned on each other because they had done 2 days with no food or water walking through the woods. We turned on each other within 5 minutes here, fighting about how many hot dogs to get and the volume that we should be playing the movie at in the TV.
Abbie was fucking DJ Diddles over there with the remote and
he
the
was,
volume,
He was
dude.
figuring that remote like it
My
was,
name's on the campsite, all right? I didn't want to get in trouble. Also, probably again a defense mechanism.
True.
Fondling.
It's also, I mean, it is weird that we are out here watching a television set in the middle of a campground next to like people that are just like trying to have
be one with
wholesome-
nature.
We're like drinking Trulies and like surrounding
Illegally.
a big screen television. Yeah, but I mean, it's fun. I
So-
bet they're envious.
So this is already meta in itself, but the movie, the Blair Witch Project, had a lot of also meta, like movie within a movie moments. I wrote a couple of them down. Why does every conversation have to be on camera?
Yes, and I want to talk about real quick found footage.
Logistics.
One of the hardest things for found footage movies, as we've talked about them a little bit, is at the beginning it makes sense. At the beginning, Paranormal Activity.
Yes.
At the beginning, it's like, oh, we're filming because it perfect sense. I mean, we're setting up one. Hopefully, it ends in murder. But in all found footage movies, it gets really hard to explain why they are filming
Why the
each other
camera keeps
at
going,
the end.
yeah.
And Paranormal Activity, I think, did not stick that dismount as much because we all joked about,
Totally
even though
agree.
that was a great movie, it didn't really make sense. This one, they did a great job because I noticed that what happens is the camera starts having more time lapsing in between rolling, which is exactly
there was
what would
also
happen.
2 cameras, one black and white, one color.
Right, 2 cameras. Mike and Heather are
Digital
holding them.
and 60 millimeter.
Yes, and
16,
the dad.
I thought.
16 millimeter.
16 millimeter. And I just loved how
That's like-
time started passing so much because it was like, at the beginning, it was like, you know why they shut it off and it come right back on. And then later it'd be like a whole night passes or a whole 6 hours pass. And it's sort of, and Heather was so sort of sadistic and a little, and crazy in it that it explained why she would turn it on at the end. So I thought they really did a good job with that.
So I don't think Paranormal Activity didn't. They did a good job of
They did a good job.
It was a
but
little
there-
forced at
there
the
were,
end,
No,
I
but
thought.
even in this movie, they're like, "What? Turn the fucking camera off. Why
Right,
do you
but
have
she
yeah,
made
she
more
was-
sense as someone that would
Okay,
do it.
Making a they're making a
Yeah,
film,
right.
So it makes a little more sense. Whereas Paranormal Activity, it's like they're documenting like paranormal things that are happening in the house, and you don't need the camera constantly running.
No, but
right?
it also was on a tripod, not moving for some of it.
But for example,
why turn the camera on and bring it with you in that creepy ass house where you hear your friend moaning?
Yeah.
All right.
And to be fair, to your point, Heather, it makes sense she would bring it, but Mike brings his camera,
Yeah.
and
And
that
he was
sort of
complaining.
doesn't check out with his character. So good
Yeah,
point, good
yeah.
point. All right,
So
Flaw.
I have 2 more.
I'm getting shivers talking about that scene.
I
I'm
have
so
2
scared.
more.
God damn it.
One line in the movie is, "Think about the joy of being in a really good movie." That's a line in the movie.
Yeah, great line.
Another one is, "Did you see Deliverance?" I just thought that was
I have not seen it, by the way. I
what?
don't- Yeah.
Deliverance episode.
I know.
Popping
the
off.
famous
Oh my
rape
God,
scene.
dude, one of my
Also,
faves.
wait, I had a line
Hold
I wrote
on, there's
down
one
too.
more film in a film thing, and then I'm done. This isn't actually film in a film, but he's like pissed off, and you just fucking, you want to film rocks. And that was.
I mean, that's
and they
a
did
good part of
Gilligan.
it.
They did a little Gilligan bit where
Reference?
he's singing the Gilligan song, and he says, "You're the captain." He's like, "For all you TV illiterate people, it's actually his name's the skipper or whatever."
Oh yeah.
It's Frankenstein's monster.
But also, I will say, to film in a film, Haxon Films was the production company that made this movie. Haxon was a Danish-Swedish film made in 1922, a silent horror film that depicted witches and like the history of witchcraft and how there was witch trials even back in Europe.
Wait, so Haxon was the made-up
Haxon
team
was
that
the
was
film
making it, or in
Haxon
real
was
life?
the film company that made this movie.
That
Blair
actually
Witch.
made the Blair
Yeah,
Witch
yeah,
Project.
it's a
Oh,
film
okay,
company.
yeah.
And Haxon means witch in
Right.
Danish.
Oh.
And there's a scene in Haxon, the movie, the 1922 Swedish-Danish movie, where a witch brings a severed hand in a bundle of sticks. And I think,
reference.
and I don't know this for sure, but I think they actually got Haxon from that scene, and they
Haxon,
used
Flaxon, Waxon, Flaxon?
Yeah, Haxon, Flaxon, Waxon, coming back with the
I
facts.
have
son.
some questions
You
I want to
already know what
hax
I'm
you.
drafting.
Hacks
the other
about
quote,
me.
the other quote
You
that
better
I wrote
ask
down.
about me. I got maxi pads about me.
I almost
got-
just said it, dude.
The other quote that I wrote down in there that I thought was so good is when they're sort of losing it, and he just goes, "I'm not interested in anything anymore." I just thought that really
Damn,
explained like the desperation.
fucking-
Really
There's also
well.
a moment where he goes, "Fuck you, God."
Oh yeah,
You know what?
dude, the acting just great.
The acting was phenomenal. What do you guys think of the acting?
So good. No, it was Heather's
Heather was amazing.
Heather's the famous "I'm so scared right now."
I'm so scared right now. I'm scared to close my eyes.
I'm not scared at all.
Which she doesn't actually say, but the monologue of the zoomed in when she's just like,
And that's parodied what, like Scary Movie?
yeah,
does it,
Scary
right?
Movie does the "I'm so scared right now" and the snot comes out of like so big. But that monologue that she gives where she's like, Mom, I love you. Just like, it's just
And I'm
random
sorry.
thoughts
Yeah.
and fears. And so
Amazing.
This is the biggest point that I wanted to make about this movie and what I think makes it so incredible. Why it's so actually terrifying has absolutely nothing to do with necessarily what happens or what you see in the movie. What makes it scary is not what you observe. It is the fear you observe of these actors.
Yes.
They are so convincingly scared
Yes.
that you become scared. It's true. You don't see anything in the whole movie.
And they
kinda-
feel like our friends. They
Yeah.
feel like people we know.
Yeah, and it
They're-
reminds me of, you know how sometimes like you don't cry till you see someone else cry in a movie?
Yes.
It's like that,
Yep.
but with fear.
Exactly. There is it cannot work unless, to your point, the actors are good. It can't work. And they were so good and so just like the it felt so like
believable.
Yeah, I don't want to say like real or whatever. But like that's what, like the shrillness of the
Yes.
screams, the I'm fucking bully you, like them turning on each other, and yeah, that to me, anybody that says a movie is not scary has zero
100%.
empathy or whatever.
Yes, 100%. And there's actually a scene that, in my opinion, perfectly encapsulates this movie. You know when they're running from the tent, she goes, "What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?" And she's feeling,
Dude.
So
and you're like, "What the fuck is that?
What is that?" Originally, there was a woman dressed in a white gown to the left
That we were supposed to
that
see
we
on
were
camera?
supposed to see on camera.
Thank God they cut that.
But no, they didn't cut it.
M. Night Shyamalan callback.
The
Dude,
cameraman,
edit your shit.
the cameraman was supposed to pan left to see the woman in the white gown being the witch.
Oh my God.
And you don't see it, but it's so effective. You don't need to, and that to me encapsulates the whole thing. You don't ever see a monster. You never see a
best.
witch.
That's the
You never
best
see
kind
a-
of storytelling.
Yeah, it's
That's
not-
the story about Jaws, where Steven Spielberg, who's obviously great. I have some trouble with him sometimes. Supposedly he wanted to open the movie with a huge shot of the shark. That was the first shot of the movie, and they were building this huge animatronic shark for it, and the props department kept having issues with it, so they kept putting it off, and he pretty much had to cut around it, and that's why that movie's so good. If that movie opens with a huge shark that was
Yes.
made by animatronic
What the
team in the
fuck?
70s,
Yeah.
it would have sucked.
Yeah.
But show, what is it? Not show, don't tell. It's just
Yeah.
like assume, like imply, don't show or tell. Just
Keep them
imply.
wanting. Keep them
yeah.
wanting.
And
I'm edge of the
that's
seat.
that's
Yeah.
another reason I realized A, why this is so good, and B, that I definitely hadn't watched it before. Is like I thought The Witch did some things, but it's all the psychological. It's all like what
Yes.
could happen. It's all implied. It makes it so much scarier. It makes it so I will not sleep tonight. Just so little actually happens, but that's not a bad thing. That's a brilliant.
Yeah,
So there's this director, Adam Wingard, who I really like. He did The Guest. Have you seen The Guest?
I'm not sure.
It's like a action horror movie about whatever.
I haven't.
And he also did You're Next, which is a home invasion movie where like the script gets flipped, where they're like, you're not stuck here, whatever.
They did the chest and
Anyway,
the rest.
he had a
Played it
great
close to the
great
vest.
track record, and he did there was a 2016 Blair Witch remake, and
because there's like 12 shitty sequels, right?
well, yeah, there's Book of Shadows and like one more, I think, and everybody hates him. But the remake I actually thought was pretty good. I thought it was scary and like well done. They modernized it. It got panned generally, but the one thing that they did was they show at the end when they get to the house the witch. It's like the haunting, and it's like, you know how you said anybody that's tall and skinny is scary.
Yeah,
they did
Alien.
that, and it was scary.
I'm
But
sure.
it
won't
did-
stick with you the
It
same
did,
way.
yeah. It undermines the whole everything that had happened up to that point.
Everybody has to sort of oversimplify. It's like everyone has different fears, and by leaving something open ended, it's going to hit each of our worst fears in our own head. Like hell,
Absolutely.
there's a lot of beliefs like hell is just whatever you create it to be. There can't be one hell because that hell wouldn't be scary to some people. It'd be only scary to others. Like it allows it to be scary to everything. And also, just to throw in how scary this fucking movie was, it did the other thing that we always talk about on Two Men and a Baby, essential to really scaring us babies, which is they lull you in. It really, no
slow
matter
burn.
how prepared you are, there's not a roller coaster. You don't know when you're about to drop.
Yeah.
It just lulls you in. So it did a great job of all of that.
I mean, should we talk about the ending of the movie?
Yeah.
Sure.
So when the movie originally screened at Sundance, when they had when they find the house, and Heather and Mike go into the house looking for Josh, who has been gone.
I'm
for a
so
while.
scared even just talking
and,
about
and honestly,
it.
and to me, the best scene of the movie is when they wake up and they hear Josh in the distance in the woods screaming.
Oh yeah.
in agony.
The first time, yeah.
Apparently, he recorded that in a booth, and they played it on loudspeakers in the woods. And also when
far away.
Yeah, far away in the woods. They played that on big speakers. He was actually there, but and also I want to say, when they first wake up in the woods and they hear the leaves, the twigs breaking and the sticks banging against.
Dude, the sticks. Nobody thought to make sticks scary.
Well, like just the
the
sound
Wicker Man maybe
in the woods, the director's got assistants just like literally run around the campsite and bang shit
That's
around.
hilarious. It's also amazing that I love, as scary as it was, and the sticks and the kindling was so scary, but it's also funny that you could also to do a little parody flip of it, that it's like she just kept leaving them kindling for their fire.
Yeah,
They
right,
could have just burnt that.
Hey, Abbie, do you got some kindling?
So let's talk about it. So the ending.
What if there was just like a really sick TV at the wall, and that's what he was watching?
Or he's peeing in the corner.
Oh, that's gonna be.
That was actually a theory. So
okay, yeah, let's hear about it. Sundance.
They first screened. Well, they didn't first screen it at Sundance, but the biggest screening, initial screening, was at Sundance. And when Mike is standing in the corner, and Heather and Mike go to this house, they think they hear Josh screaming from the basement. They run down there. Heather finds Mike standing in the corner, and the camera gets knocked out of her hands. We don't know what happens. The movie ends. It was very vague, right? That no one was like, "What happened?" Is it I don't understand, because they didn't have that interview of that old man talking about Rustin Parr.
It was a terrible thing. It just tore the whole community up.
Said in court that he couldn't take the eyes on him. He could feel the eyes watching him. That's why he made him face into the corner.
That part was added later to make the ending
to put it into
make
context.
sense. So after Sundance, when they saw it, they were like, they did interviews, and everyone said, "Do you understand the ending?" And like no one raised their hand. But he said, "But were you scared?" And everyone raised their hand.
That's
so
a fantastic Fletch fact
yeah.
right there.
Wow.
So is that
Fletch
crazy?
fact.
But isn't it insane that movie's success came after? I mean, they tied it all together after Sundance. Like
the
they
magic
had
of
to add
filmmaking,
that,
dude.
And it just like put a bow on it so perfectly. Like
It's great.
after the fact. That's crazy.
That's so great. That's so great. I love that. I also noted a few other things in this movie. So again, great, very believable. There was a few things that I caught. One that didn't really make sense, I think we can all relate to as big Vice heads, not the magazine, just the concept. Is
like
the guy?
being
So they
bad?
start losing their mind when they run out of cigarettes. Very relatable.
Oh, yeah.
Very relatable.
Yeah.
And it sort of reminded me of The Shining, where you could argue the whole movie, The Shining, spoiler alert, is really just a man missing alcohol.
Yeah, right,
It's really just a story of withdrawal. So that all checked out. But then when he later is like, "I found the cigarettes in the bottom of my bag." Bro, we would have dug through that bag like a fucking surgeon taking out the cancer of the richest client.
And also, if we were to find a pack of cigarettes at the bottom of our pack, we would
mine.
react as if we had just won the lottery. Like it would be.
It would have been so pumped. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was on a different note that I thought was great and weird. The few when they're losing their mind, so he does the rocking. That's great.
Yeah.
That was fucking epic. And then when they just start singing about America, that's a very classic losing your mind thing. And I also she made a few before she was crazy, a few comments that specifically were like, "Yeah, this doesn't happen in America. Someone will find us in America." And I feel like that was a great
one
of
the
its
quotes.
time.
It was good.
Sort
Yeah.
of, reference.
And also another to that point, when they. Before I watched the movie and I knew we were preparing to do this podcast, it was like, when are they charging these cameras, right? It's 1999.
They did bring a lot of batteries. Duel noticed that. They brought a lot of batteries.
No, because there's a line that they're like, "Let's get this out of the way."
Fucking Josh, dude. Shout out to Josh Duel.
Yeah, they're like, we got to get this out of the way.
Young Mac Miller.
We got to get this out of the way right now. They're saying we have enough battery to power a third world country. Remember in the car?
Oh, I didn't even catch
that.
that.
So she's
That's
because I was thinking that, how do they charging this? But anyway, a lot of the suspension of disbelief that's occurring.
Okay, so
they cover all their bases.
I had one more thing about just the influence of this film and how important it was. The very first frame is, black screen with white text, and it describes, 3 film students when it literally, the sentence is, this is the footage that was found. Found footage was not a concept as a genre.
That.
They invented
I know
it.
Cannibal Holocaust
did
it, but they didn't call it
did
that.
not have a name before the Blair Witch. And the first 2, so it was Cloverfield, Paranormal Activity. Those were the first 2 big successes after the Blair Witch. But the Blair Witch was single-handedly revived it. And we talked about the marketing a little bit. Like, that was also the genius of this film. That can't be talked about.
Do you know fans would write Heather's mom offering condolences to her?
Oh my God!
So their real names are Heather, Josh, and Mike. So her mom would get condolences saying, "I'm so sorry that their daughter's lost."
I'm so sorry your daughter acts like that.
By the Blair Witch killed everybody. Okay, I have one tiny question, and then I think we should get to our scores. But my question was, and this is probably obvious, but it's implied that the compass was broken. Or I guess it's open-ended. Was the witch or whatever supernatural fucking with the compass, or she was just lost?
No, it was just it's a magical
forest
the woods are
where it's like a loop.
Where
I got shivers again even
they
thinking
say
about it.
we walked south all day.
So then how do we end up?
So it's just like this stitch in time.
But again,
I'm gonna have to get hammered to go to sleep tonight.
That is the beauty of the movie. Is I also agree. I think it's just a haunted place where you're in there. You're fucked. We don't explain how, why, but you
it's
are
like a parallel universe almost.
That's so scary.
Yeah, and they the rocks outside the stick figures. No, they're never like this. The Blair Witch built these.
Right. No, it's all implied. Okay.
Also, the ending. There was one pitched idea that one of those stick figures was going to chase them in that house.
So glad that didn't
happen. Like a giant stick figure.
Oh my God.
A little Gumby.
But it's crazy how people
little Pinocchio again.
The crazy part about this, people thought this was a real movie.
Yeah,
right?
that's
people thought this movie was so real that there were groups of kids that would go out into these same woods in Burkittsville, Maryland, and try to film their own Blair Witch documentaries to the point
where they all died.
To the point where hunting season.
Aren't we doing that right now?
Hunting season suffered for 3 years.
Oh my God! Because all the fucking
everyone
animals
was out in this stretch of woods trying to film their own documentary.
Well, I mean, to be honest, it could have got better if you choose
if
different targets. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
I mean, the kids here were pretty fucking annoying. I would have. Anyway, wait. Before we go to the scores, so usually it's Fletch Facts and Scream themes. Do you think there is a theme or a motif in this movie?
I mean, film and art above everything.
Yeah,
and that leads to detriment.
I think the film within the film, also the demise via just. So I think that Heather, for all her flaws, the one thing I noticed was at first she believed that she knew where she was going, but eventually there's one time where she says, "No, it's south," and then she turns the camera and is like, I'm lost. She admits it.
But not to them first, right?
No,
and then she reaches the next level where she admits it to them. She does admit it to them at one point, but it's way later.
But I don't know, the demise of
that's a good point.
Where you're so committed to a thing that you believe that it's going to work out when it's not.
No,
when your artistic pursuits literally drive you to your grave.
I mean, this footage is making it to YouTube, whether or not you guys make it out of these woods. I'll tell you that right
Listen,
now.
no one's making it out of here alive. I'll tell you that much.
And with that, let's...
And the only 2 people that are here helping us are asleep, literally in their chairs. So for all you people that are still awake out there in podcast world, thanks, Mom and Dad.
Thank you. Tell us what you guys thought of the score, and now we're going to tell you what we thought of the score.
I'll go first. 9.4 bundles of sticks.
Wow.
That shocks me.
That's really high, and I think it deserves it. I don't think that shocks me at all.
So I gave Exorcist 9.7. That's the highest.
Wow.
And I gave Alien, which is the most fun I've had in a movie we saw in theaters. Those are the only ones I remembered, so that was my barometer.
Again, we have to start writing these down because I don't remember what I came
But the Blair Witch it's iconic. It is influential.
Cultural touchstone.
And watching it again today,
so
thinking about how excellent, all the things we talked about, validated. So I wrote that down, but before, usually I'm open. Sometimes I change it. I change it.
9.4 is perfect, dude. You have to explain yourself. It's
Brennan,
perfect. Perfect the number.
You're perfect.
You're perfect. You know what? You're so perfect. Guess what? Listen to this.
You're so perfect, you're out of the band.
Never been done before here on the 2 Men and a Baby podcast. I'm gonna give this movie a 9.4.
Wait, I was thinking about. Holy shit!
9.4s?
I was gonna give it a 9.4.
Oh my god. 9.4 what?
Oh.
I'm saying 9.4 little bundles of sticks.
No, he already said it. That doesn't count.
Okay. I'm giving 9.4 little tiny witches.
Oh, all right. I am. You know what? I'm not just saying this to be friends with you guys because I'm not. But please tell me that's captured.
Why did you mic up your burp?
Like the mics are handheld. You don't have.
Stop.
Hold on.
Oh my god. Are you okay?
Dude.
This is for the art.
I'd rather be in the fucking house.
Stop miking it.
Dude, I was taking the final sip and you made me laugh. It went I'm crying.
Breathe, dude.
I'm crying now. It went straight down.
You need to drink some water, dude.
No, but dude, I was
Will hasn't drank water for 4 days.
No, that's
What if Will just started levitating?
Oh, her feet never touched the floor. That was a great line.
yeah.
That was
That
very
was
to my
good.
point. It
That was
like,
spooky, dude. I love witches. I love old
they plant
horror.
so many seeds.
Dude, witches ain't shit, but hoes and
Little
tricks.
like fairies and witches and fucking goblins and ghouls.
Okay, let me finish it off.
Vampires and-
I'm going to give it a 9.4 Slime Time Lives because they had the blue slime, and I thought that was very 90s
I
of
hate
them.
to do this, but I'm going to inject a fun fact. That blue slime, actually in the movie, they used KY jelly.
Wow.
I also wrote something down
KYS.
about like haunted jizz because
Yeah.
That's good. So 9.4.
9.4
Slimy
Slimy
slimes.
Slimes. 9.4 Bundles of
9.4
Sticks.
bundles of sticks.
Bundle stick. 9.4 little tiny witches.
Dude, guys, we did it all. We did it all. Wait, for a bonus shout out, we have the great Sean Devon and Dual Davis out here.
You want to say a word, fellas?
No. Just tell us what your rankings out of 10 would be.
You got to get up from your chair,
You gotta lean up. You gotta come over and tell
Come
us.
on, get on
those
camera,
rainbow
boys.
Crocs of
Out of
moving.
10. Come on down. Come on down.
It was Duel's first time.
Duel's
seeing the
first time
movie.
seeing it too.
Gotta
I
get
think
on
Duel
mic.
was a little scared.
I'm gonna say 9.4 missing maps.
Wow.
Oh, maps kicked into the river.
Honestly, in those 5 words, he's better at this
Yeah,
podcast
he's
shit than we are.
Will, you're finally replaced.
9.4 piles of rocks.
Oh,
Karen's.
We're a 9.4 fucking family, all right? And with that, I hope you have 9.4 good night sleeps tonight, guys.
Signing out from Voorhees.
From Voorhees Park. If we die, I hope you guys at least can give it 100 views.
It'll be on
Hey,
camera.
guys, listen
It'll
to
be
the
on
crackle
camera.
of this fire.
No, don't put my mics next to the
Never
fire.
mind.
Yeah, what the
Okay,
hell?
love you. Good night.
Bye.
Sorry. Wait, no. Was that a bad way to end it?
We'll die just through watching the Blair Witch Project. I said we'll die, we just through watching motherfucking Blair Witch Project. Better get a wreck, better have respect for the Blair Witch Project. She coming through. Fuck, I can't do it.
I'm literally in the woods and there's this child screaming.
Guys,
This is aimed down.
it's scary.
We can kind of see.
How does Brendan know where he's going?
His eyes adjusted.
No, Brendan,
He's
what?
just showing off is all he's doing.
Guys, are we scared?
It opens up there.
No, it doesn't.
It's up, well, past the
Yeah.
past the crapper.
Oh, the shitter.
Yeah, past that.
Whoa, hold on. There's a haunted tree over there. My eyeballs can't adjust. I can't see shit.
Yeah, well, you're shooting a light at your eye.
I'm so scared.
Wait. Honestly, what the fuck? What the fuck's that? Oh my god.
People were saying there's a crazy motherfucker out here, right? I don't know what it is, but like, I heard that he's going around.
away.